Good morning to all the participants. We will be starting the webinar in a short while. Good morning to all the participants. I would request all the participants to mute their mic as well as video. We will be starting our webinar in a short while. Good morning. I extend a warm welcome to you, dear participants, for the webinar today. We are delighted to welcome you all on board for our national level webinar on handicrafts of Gujarat. At the outset, my warm welcome to the IAGI management and the COO. We welcome our respected principal, Dr. E. Jerome Xavier, Indian Academy Degree College. Sir has been constantly directing and bracing us up in organizing the webinar in a systematic manner. I wholeheartedly welcome my associates from Indian Academy Degree College family for scheduling their time and joining us. I, Ms. Mosmi from the Department of Tourism, am privileged to introduce the resource person, Mr. Hardik Patel Hitesh, Marketing Executive of Gujarat Tourism. Mr. Hardik Patel Hitesh is an active and hardworking professional in the field of tourism and travel industry. He has pictured his firm and tourism products of Gujarat at various national level exhibitions and organized structured tour operations in Gujarat. He has completed his MBA from Indian Institution of Tourism and Travel, Gwalior, and qualified UGC NET in the year 2018. Now, I invite Mr. Hardik Patel to take us through on a virtual tour to Gujarat and enlighten us on insights of handicraft. I welcome you, sir.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I think I'm audible to everyone, right? Ms. Mosumi, can you just reconfirm it?
All the participants, are we audible? If yes, please put it in the chat box so that we get a confirmation. Yes, yes,
Okay,
sir,
okay.
we are audible.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. And I would first like to thank you everyone, means basically the Indian Academic Degree College in Bangalore, and especially Dr. E. Jerome Xavier, who is the principal of the college, and plus the organizing committee headed by Miss Deepa and Miss Moshami, for giving me a chance to share knowledge about the handicrafts of Gujarat and the way it has been developed in the recent years, and the rural tourism in Gujarat, which has developed in result with the development of the handicrafts and the artisans who are making these handicrafts. So there would be an overview of how many handicrafts Gujarat has to offer, and then related to it, we can have a question and answer session at the end of it. So I would just share the screen right now. Yes, I think it is visible to everyone, the screen sharing, right?
Yes, sir, it is visible to us.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So this presentation would be basically on the handicrafts of Gujarat and how it has evolved. Mainly, usually the communities of Gujarat have been coming, have shifted from different parts of the country as well as some different parts of the world, and settled in Gujarat, and then they have their own customs and handicrafts. With the advent of time, yes, there has been changing in this handicrafts because it is more commercialized now. Few years back, usually it was only used by themselves for their own purpose, but then after the advent of Ranutsav and other such festivals, and plus the promotion of these handicrafts by the Gujarat government, they have started to make it more commercialized with many more designs to suit the modern basic needs. So this would be the presentation what I would be giving on handicrafts. So we would start with the presentation. So this is the map of Gujarat, the basic map. These are the various destinations which you could visit in the state of Gujarat. The handicrafts usually are found in the whole of Gujarat, but mainly if we talk about handicrafts and textiles, the main center, we can say, or the main place where you can see a lot of varied handicrafts, that would be surely be the most western part, or the top left you would see on the screen. It is the district of Kutch. You can see the great run of Kutch, the white desert of Kutch, which is more famous right now. So these are places where usually you find a varied types of handicrafts, and plus there are other places in the state where you can have different kinds of handicrafts. So we will be seeing slide by slide which all types of handicrafts we can have in the state of Gujarat. So I have divided the different textiles and handicrafts in different subheadings. Mainly, we can see this 6 types of handicrafts in the state of Gujarat. Mainly the textile, that is more usually varied form, famous for. And then we have metal, wooden, clay and mud, beadwork and leather work. So depending upon different communities and different purposes which they were using, yes, they have developed these different kind of handicrafts. So we would be seeing in the later stages or the later slides that how these handicrafts had evolved and how it has been more famous right now. So first we would be seeing is, sorry. So first we would be seeing the textile handicrafts, and that includes a variety different forms of handicraft. Textile handicrafts, mainly they are done on the clothes. So I have termed it as textile handicrafts. It includes embroidery, weaving, rogan art, block printing, tie and dye work, patchwork and applique, and kalamkari. So mainly means there are all different types of things. Embroidery usually we can find in any means other parts of the country as well, but then the embroidery of Gujarat is little bit different. Weaving is also different. Rogan art, anyways, it's the only place where you can find rogan art all around the world. Block printing, that includes 2 different other types of block printings: tie and dye work, basically of bandhani, patchwork and applique, and plus the kalamkari work. So more information regarding this all types of textile handicrafts we would be seeing in the later slides. So just for the knowledge, yes, these types of textile handicrafts which you can usually see in the state of Gujarat. So first we would be seeing about the embroidery. Now talking about embroidery, the Banni villages of Kutch usually are known for the embroidery. If you talk about the district of Kutch, probably the largest district in the whole country, And the Bunny villages, that includes the villages which are usually on the desert side of the Kutch, where means in the desert areas, the whole area is known as Bunny. And these villages have around 12 different kinds of communities which are doing about 42 known different types of embroideries. And from these embroideries we can easily say which community that the particular person would be belonging to, because of their different embroidery. They wear different clothes, and that results in and colorful embroidery. So main important aspect of the Kachi embroidery is the mirror work. Mirrors are highly used in this embroidery, and the most means important feature why these mirrors are used, because in the run on the desert region, usually there are pastoral shepherd communities who are nomads or semi nomads. So when they are going in the desert, it is very difficult to judge who means to judge in case there are people or not. So because of these mirrors, they usually the costumes and the clothes would shine, and that would result in the people in the person, in case they are lost in the desert, they would easily come to know that there is someone going into that desert. So that makes it difficult for the persons to, or the people to find their way. And that's how the embroidery has been evolving in the state of Gujarat. Talking about communities, there are different communities. As I said, there are 12 communities ranging from Rabaris, Jats, or Mutwa, or Meghwal, Marwada. And all these communities are, in fact, the migrants from other parts of the country as well as the other parts of the world. In fact, many of them have come from Sindh, which is right now in Pakistan. Even after the 1971 war between India and Pakistan, there are some communities like Soda community, which had migrated from the Sindh and came back to India as refugees. And then they have developed cordial relations with the local communities, and now they're living as the citizens of India. So everyone brought their own art, their own style of embroidery, and then they just mixed it with their embroidery. And yes, now because just about around 2005-6, the more prominent or the Gujarat government had given more importance to this embroidery, and the communities then started to make it in more commercial way. Even there are some communities like the Jat community, they usually don't give their costumes even to their child or even to their parents. So in case they die, they have to just get rid of that their clothes. They would just bury in the land, or they would just bury in the rivers, but they would not give to their family members. But then several NGOs are working, and they have been giving knowledge to these communities so that they could earn more money by selling this embroideries in a more commercial way. Usually it was for the wall hangings or the toran. On the top left you see a long elongated horizontal toran. The toran, that is the gateway. Usually in every house, if you visit the state of Gujarat, in every house you would have a toran, that is a gateway. Even in the temples you visit in Gujarat or in any other parts, you see a toran, and that is called a gateway. So in the houses also, for toran, embroidery was widely used, and in the costumes or clothes, as I said, it is widely used. Even in bed sheets, they will be using this embroidery. So embroidery is the most important, in fact, the handicrafts which you can see in the state of Gujarat. But you need quite a number of days to see all kinds of embroidery. As I said, it is about 42 different types of embroideries which has to be seen in the district of Kutch. So next is the weaving part. Mainly, there are different kinds of weaving also. One and the most famous is the patola weaving. Now, talking about patola, it is a double ikat work in other different parts of country, also in other different parts of world, like the Southeast nations. There you can find different types of ikat work. Ikat basically is weaving, but patola is a little different from other ikat art. It is a double ikat, means the warp and the weft. Both the threads are designed by tie and dye art, and then they are made in such a way that even a single patola sari of double ikat work takes around 6 months to prepare. After about 4 people work day and night continuously. So that's how a patola sari is made, and it costs roughly around, starting price is 1.5 lakhs Indian rupees. So that is the cost of patola right now. Only 2 families right now are practicing this patola art in the city of Patan, and in a village called Saila near Rajkot. Patan is more famous for patola weaving, mainly just because Patan was the erstwhile capital of Gujarat. Even before Gandhinagar and Ahmedabad, Patan was the first capital of Gujarat, where the Solanki rulers were ruling. And then the Patola artisans were around 700 families were living at the time of Solanki rule in the 11th and the 12th century. So Patola was famous more at that time. And then because of the more industrial revolution, and that Patola became a more mechanized one, and you can find very cheap Patola saris right now, machine made saris, but that is not the real Patola. So in case you want to see the real Patola, yes, the family, the Salvi family of Patan are mainly making this Patola in Patan. Now, the main peculiar thing about Patola is the lifeline of a Patola sari is around about 100 years, and it is said that the design wouldn't fade any day. In case the sari or the whole cloth gets torn away, that is the only thing the Patola can be destroyed, but the design doesn't get fade away. So regarding the cost, I said about 1.5 lakhs Indian rupees the starting price. It can vary up to 10 lakhs Indian rupees. And there are many other saris. In case you give an order today, you can get that sari after 2 years. So that is how Patola is very famous for. And even in the folk songs of Gujarat, there is one folk song which depicted the importance of Patola. In the erstwhile, as I said, the Patan was the capital and a major trading center. So whenever the traders used to go to Patola, to Patan, the ladies of, or the wives of that traders would be singing that folk song, which roughly translates into that, "Oh dear husband, please bring a Patola sari for me." So that's how, means that's what important a Patola sari was for the ladies at that time. Yes, it is little difficult for everyone to buy a Patola sari right now, but yes, it is worth watching when you visit the city of Patan and the villages of Saila. Next is the BHUJODI weaving. Now, talking about BHUJODI, BHUJODI is a small hamlet near the district headquarters of Kutch, that is Bhuj. BHUJODI is mainly famous for weaving and then also the embroidery work. But talking about weaving, there are about 150 different weaving families, or locally known as Wankars. Wankars is a caste which are into weaving. So woolen and cotton shawls or cotton saris you can find in this BHUJODI weaving. It is more prominent because it is, I mean, a specimen of BHUJODI weaving is also found in the London Museum too. So that's how famous the BHUJODI weaving is. It is a very small hamlet, but yes, there are about 150 families, as I said, which are into weaving of BHUJODI weaving. Different kind of colorful shawls, or if which has evolved with the time. Yes, had been now you can see in the BHUJODI weaving style. One more weaving style is the Tangaliya weaving, which are usually found in the Little Run of Kutch or the central part of Gujarat in the Surendranagar district. Now, this Tangaliya weaving is different from BHUJODI weaving in a way that these are mainly for shepherd communities, and it is mainly on woolen shawls. And mainly, yes, Tangaliya shawl, I mean, with the advent of time, yes, the artisans have started making it in a more refined way, or in shirts or in waistcoats, but usually it was for shawls. And the dots you see on the screen, that is a shawl, a Tangaliya shawl. These dots are more important because in the warp thread, they would be tying some small cotton threads in the weft threads, and that is how they make this symmetrical and geometrical pattern. And this shows the Tangaliya style of weaving. It is almost 700-year-old art, so that's how old it is. A story also goes behind that. A shepherd boy fall in love with a weaver family's girl, and that's why the shepherd family disowned that boy, and he started living with the weavers. Now, with the knowledge of shepherd, and with the knowledge acquired from his in-laws of weaving, he then made this with the help of wool of the sheep and the cotton he apron, he made this Tangaliya shawls. And that's how it's a folklore. Can't say much about it, but yes, that's a folklore how this Tangaliya shawl or Tangaliya weaving got it. One more type of weaving is the MASHRU weaving. Now, MASHRU weaving is mainly for what I say is for the Muslim communities. Even Hindus use for their attires, which is usually worn by the brides during the marriage. Now, MASHRU, the one more unique feature of MASHRU is on the top, or the if in a cloth, the top part would be of silk and the base portion would be of cotton. In Muslims, usually it is said that wearing silk clothes or touching the, you cannot touch a silk cloth. So that is prohibited in the Quran. So that's why they couldn't wear silk. But silk is more shinier, silk is more beautiful than cotton. So as they wanted to wear silk, they developed a technique in which the cotton remained the base part, and that's why that cotton would be touching the body and the silk would be on the top, showing colorful designs. That's how the mushroom style of weaving had been uh, evolving. Now, Mashru usually you would find in the district of Kutch, the Mandvi village, and then the Patan again, the Patola, the center. So Patan also you can find this weaving. Usually there are 8 different threads or 8 different handloom in the handlooms. There are 8 different threads. 7 are of silk and one is of cotton. And that one of cotton is on the base, and 7 would be entwined in a way that that would be on the top. So that's how these 4 different types of weaving are found in the state of Gujarat. Now, more very famous art of Gujarat is the Rogan art. Now, if I say about Rogan art, it is I think that would be better if you directly come and see. But talking about Rogan art in a small, in a brief way, Rogan art became famous about after 2014, when the current Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, gifted a Rogan piece to the then President of the United States, Barack Obama. So that's how the limelight, the Rogan art came into limelight. Now Rogan art, the only family practicing in the whole world, is found in the Nirona village of Gujarat. The Abdul Ghaffur Khatri family, they have 9 different artisans from 3 different generations who are making this Rogan art, and they are the only family who are making this Rogan art in the whole world. Basically, a Persian word, Rogan, that means an oil-based painting. They make this oil-based painting. They may with natural colors. They usually don't tell which colors they are using or the way they are making this chemical or the whole pigment. But with the small needle which you see on the screen, that is the only thing which through which they make this freestyle painting. Now, in case they make a mistake, they cannot recorrect it. So in case they make a mistake, they just have to make it in such a way that the people doesn't get to know the mistake. If you see from a far away distance, then you would see that you would think that that is of an embroidered style, but no. If you see in a closer look, yes, that is a freestyle painting. So that's how Roganas. It's very difficult, and mainly it is used for wall hangings. And now with advent of time, yes, they had been using with in different clothes also. But the one thing about Rogan art is, if you want to see and buy Rogan art, the only place you have to visit is Kutch. They are not making it more commercialized. They are not. They have been given offers from various designers so that they could be means sold. This Rogan art pieces could be sold in different parts of the country or the world in boutique showrooms and stores. But they are not making it commercialized. They say that in case you want to buy, in case you want to see, you first visit our place, you see how you see the demonstration how it is made, and then you buy the product. So that is one good thing about Rogan art. And I sincerely say, in case you visit Gujarat, don't miss the Rogan art style. So about after Rogan art, there are 2 different block prints which are to be seen in Gujarat. And the block prints, if I say, one is the Ajrak block print. And now Ajrak is found in many other parts, means in Rajasthan too, and in Kutch too. Ajrak came into being after, means after the earthquake, devastating earthquake of 2001. Uh, means Ajrak, if I say, the history would long back to the Indus Valley civilization. There was one motif find of maybe a priest which had that red shawl wrapped around him, and that motif of stone motif usually said that it may be the shawl may be of Ajrak, and that's how it is said that the Ajrak, the history of Ajrak block printing would be from the Indus Valley civilization. And anyways, Gujarat and Rajasthan or the Pakistan area of right now, they are the pioneers where this the Indus Valley civilization was found. Now, Ajrak block printing, if I talk about, is mainly a block printing, and the blocks are made of wooden or made in a way that it shows various geometrical and floral designs. Basically done by the Muslim community or the Muslim Khatri community of Kutch. Ajrakpur is the village where the whole Ajrak block printings happen. There was one village known as Dhamarka, which was the main point or the main place for Ajrak block printing. But due to the earthquake of 2001, the water levels dried down considerably, and so they had to find a new place where they could find a lots of water, because they need lot of water to wash this dyed block print the clothes. So they came to Ajrakpur, means they came to a place where they established the city of the village of Ajrakpur, and then they started this Ajrak art in that village. Right now, there are about 50 different families of Ajrak block printing, which you could see in this village of Ajrakpur. Yes, in Ajrak, the Ajrak block printing, you can also find in some cities of Rajasthan too. Other block printing art is batik. Now, batik is a word which usually comes from Indonesian Malay word, that is batik. Batik block printing is the use of wax as a resisting dye. Uh, the 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 picture you see, the person is applying wax through blocks and apply or through painting with the stick, and that is wax. Now, when they are dyeing this the whole cloth, wherever the wax has been painted or the wax has been done, that would be having the original color, and the other parts would be having the color which is dyed. So in case they are dyeing with the red color, wherever the wax is there, that would remain the white color, and the other would be the red color. So in that way, they make this dye and then they wash it away, and they take about 3 different types of dyes, and they make different types of clothes, even saris, even normal stoles or shawls. So make it different way. So that is how this 2 different ajrak and batik is been found. You can also find batik printing in other parts of India like West Bengal. But yes, if you want to see in Gujarat, it is mainly in Mundra village of Kutch. One thing I would say about batik printing is there is one Khatri family in Mundra, and they were around 66 people living under one roof who were practicing this batik art. Say till about 2005. 2001 earthquake was a very difficult phase for them, and then they happily just parted ways, so that it was very difficult for everyone to stay in one family, about 66 people in under one roof. So that is one. Now they have splitted ways, and they are practicing this art in different parts of the city of Mundra. Then it is the tie and dye art, or the bandhani art. Bandhani means, or tie and dye means they tie a small, no, they tie means usually they tie it, the dots, the white dots you see on the screen. They tie it and then they dye it with different colors. And wherever the dots have been tied, they would be remaining with the normal with the white color or the original color, and then the other would be dyed. Tie and dye art or the bandhani art usually you find in the district of Kutch in Bhuj, Jamnagar, and Jethpur near Rajkot. These are wide centers for bandhani art. Also in Rajasthan, you find the bandhani art, the turban which usually the Rajasthanis wear or the Marwadis wear. They are of bandhani art. Now, talking about bandhani, usually in Hindu weddings, when they are marrying, the brides are usually wearing MASHRU, and widely used is bandhani art. The garchoda or the wedding dress of the bride is known as garchoda in Gujarati. They are usually of bandhani, and that is why. And bandhani saris are anyways more famous in Gujarat. There are the machines have come, the modernized ways have come. The original bandhani saris would cost around 15-20,000 rupees at a starting price, but the machine bandhani would be costing just about 2,000, 3,000. But yes, the machine and the handmade, it is totally different. So that is how the modern things have slowly and steadily replaced the handmade things. But if you have that means if you are more willing to see the handmade products, yes, you come to Gujarat, and this bandhani is totally different. Means it takes long time to make one bandhani sari or make one bandhani stall. But yes, that the worth which we are paying for that bandhani stall is worth it, because the amount of hard work or the time they spend, the artisan spend, that is worth noting it. Then there is the patchwork and the applique work. The patchwork is on the screen. Patches means different types of patches from a small cloth have been arranged and embroidered in such a way that it looks at meaningful purpose. Means if you see the elephant on the screen, now there are small patches of clothes different patches you can see, they are embroidered in such a way that it makes a meaningful and it makes it different, means beautiful thing. Patchwork means it is quite not easy, but if I say, but yes, you can find in many parts of India, or and then but the many villages of Kutch too, because there are many rotten or many discarded clothes which the women find, and they make something waste out of best. So if I say in a small, in a brief way, it's waste out of best. They make it a patchwork. And then applique also, it's very different. Means it's like patchwork. Yes, they are using various patches, but it gives a more meaning to the cloth. Now this the whole thing, if you see on the screen, now it shows the map of Kutch. On the top left you see a name, Megi Ben. Now Megi Ben is the artist who is making this art in the village called Sumrasar in Kutch, and she is around 73, 74 years old, and she is making this applique work. Now if you see in the whole picture, on the downside you see Narayan Server, Tera, Mandvi, Bhuj, Mundra written, and that means that is the villages which she had visited in the district of Kutch. On the top it is white cloth, that is run of Kutch, because the desert is white, so she had made it white. Now in between she has made it a temple like structure. uh, she has made it or the on the top right, if you see, that is black small uh, small square, black squares, and that represents the Indus Valley civilization site of Dholavira. So she had been going to this different parts of Kutch, and then she had made a rough map of Kutch. She had made different other motifs too, representing the map of her own village, her village and her in-laws village. She had also made. She has been to United States of America twice. She has all stories of it. And yes, Maggie Bain and one more women, they both are doing this kind of applique work in the district. Applique is also found in different parts, but yes, every artist usually would have their own form of applique. But this peculiar thing about Maggie Bain is how she makes this kind of maps, or this kind of events which happen in a regular time. Now it is Kalamkari. As many of you are from South, you may be knowing about Kalamkari paintings, which are usually found in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. But Kalamkari is also mainly block printing, the combination of block printing and the paintings. Now, Kalamkari in Gujarat is little different from what you see in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Now, talking about Ahmedabad, where you see this Kalamkari painting, or usually Matani Pachedi, what the community name is Wagri community, and they tell this as Matani Pachedi. The Mata means goddess, and Pachedi means cloth. So that is the cloth of the goddess. Wagri community is widely regarded in Gujarat as the untouchables. In the era about some centuries back, they were known as untouchables. They were not allowed to enter the temple, so they wanted some worship place. So they made this kind of Matani Pachedi or the Kalamkari art with the use of hand blocks or the wooden blocks and the painting. They painted clothes, mainly the goddesses, and they worshipped it as wall. They made wall hangings in their houses, and they worshipped the goddesses. That's how the Kalamkari art or the Matani Pachedi art of Gujarat came into being. Usually you find in black or the red color only, the Matani Pachedi art. Mainly it would be red, and with the white combination they make it the whole wall hangings. Yeah, we are completed with the textile art. Now we would be seeing about the nirona, or the metal work. Now metal work mainly includes the copper bell art. Now copper bell art, it is mainly just because the artisans were making it for the cattle, uh, because cattle herding was the primary occupation of the people living in the district of Kutch, and that's why every cattle or every buffalo or the cow would be having different kinds of bells in their neck, and every bell would be of different sound. If you ring the bell, the sound would be different. There is no welding, or there is no other mechanism used. Only with the help of hammer and burning of this copper, they would be making these copper bells. Nirona and Zura village, you would find this copper bell arts, or the artisans who are making these copper bells. Now, this type of copper bell, if you visit the artisans, they would make in just about 15 minutes you would get the copper belts. Now with the advent of time, as I said, being more commercialized, they are making it not just belts, they're making it different types of showpieces or different types of hangings on the ceiling. But yes, copper bell art is one more famous. Talking about, if I say about Nirona, the village, it's the most fascinating village of Kutch, or in fact the whole of Gujarat, because it has the textile art, as I said, the Rogan art, the copper bell art, and we would be seeing the wooden art also. So you can see the all types of handicrafts in the same village. Just I said about the wooden art, that is the Laker art in the villages of Nirona and Misra in Kutch. Now, if I say more mainly, if I say about Kutchi Laker work, if you know about lak is an insect found on the trees, usually the neem trees and the babul trees, and that is widely found in the district. So, with the help of that lak and with the mixture of different color natural pigments like turmeric or like indigo, just for different colors, they make it different colors, and with the handmade hand means lathe machine, they would make this different types of colorful cooking. Mainly it is used of cooking or the household items, and make it more colorful. Now you can see different kinds of things which are usually used in the household purposes. That is how kachi lekar is used. And then the wooden thing, if I say, is about sankheda furniture. Sankheda furniture, it's very different what actually the modern furniture looks like. Kharadi community of Sankheda, that is known for making this different types of furniture. And in the recent, just about few months back, Indian government had given a list of 101 or 101 intangible heritage things to be seen in the country of India, and that included the Sankheda furniture and the Patola saris or Patola weaving, which we saw earlier. Now, Sankheda furniture, that is mainly made of teak wood, and usually this the golden color and the red or the maroon color, they were using it for making this colorful furniture. This is a small swing which had been making in Sankheda furniture, but you can have the whole furniture, the sofa sets plus the beds, and it is more beautiful if you keep a Sankheda furniture thing, furniture and the modern furniture. Yes, Sankheda furniture would be more beautiful and cost around the same with the modern and the fun and the Sankheda style of furniture. They give a guarantee. It's about 20-25 years. You don't need to worry about the design, or not need to worry about the fading of design. They say just about one and every year, just polish it with turpentine, and then you have the original color with you in years to come. And that is how this Sankheda furniture, it was more famous a few years back, but yes, it started a little bit dwindling. Plus, as teak wood is not easily available right now, they are using with Nilgiri wood, but Nilgiri wood is not as good as the teak wood, because teak wood is more durable, and that's why yes, there are hundreds of Kharadis who are working in the small village of Sankheda, who are making this art. And if you tend to visit this village, you will be finding many of the showrooms. It is also found in different cities, also in boutique furniture showrooms and all. But yes, directly going to Sankheda and see how it is made, that is a totally different experience. And after the wooden art, we would be seeing the mud art, mud work of Kutch, or the Lipan art. Lipan means the women of different communities, or mainly the Rabari community and the Muslim community. They would be using cow dung and camel dung plus clay or the mud on the walls of their houses. As usually, it was an economically backward region till about 10 years back. It was facing severe electricity issues too. So, and sunlight was immense. So they helped with this mirrors and this cow dung and lipanat, that had the peculiar means feature of in the winters, that used to keep the whole house warmer, and in the summer it used to keep the whole house cooler. And that's how this cow dung and camel dung used to be used. And with the help of these mirrors, as there would be no electricity inside the house when they would be using in the interior walls, as the light would enter, the sunlight or the moonlight, the mirrors would automatically reflect it back, and the whole room would be illuminated. That's how this whole thing came into being. There is no specific designs of this mud work. It is totally depending upon the women who are making this lipan kam or the mud work. But yes, now you can find small wall hangings just for your house if you want to take it to your house as a memorial. There are small wall hanging, or you can make a nameplate out of it. So there are different kinds of things now you can see in this mud work. But yes, basically it was just for the interior walls or the exterior walls of the houses. Now this is terracotta horses that is found in the northern Gujarat or the fallow forest. Now terracotta products you can see in other parts of the country too. But here the terracotta is mainly of horses. They make horses, and special tribes like Gamit tribes. They are of the of the thing. They have their own customs. The way that in case they are worshipping some god, and they have their own wishes, in case their wish gets fulfilled, they make these terracotta horses, and then they keep in a particular place, that is the worshipping place. This whole horse terracotta army of horses you can see in villages near Vijayanagar in the polo forest of North Gujarat. So in case anyone is more into tribal tours of Gujarat, you can find this terracotta horses army, and that is one tourist attraction of the state. And whoever is visiting the northern part, yes, they tend to visit this terracotta houses. Now, with, as I said, with the advent of time, yes, they are selling this terracotta horses too. Now we'll say about the bead work that is found all around Gujarat, because bead is an integral part to every community of Gujarat. Now, in everything, in the Toran, or even in the costumes, or even in the auspicious things which are used in the auspicious festivals or auspicious customs like marriage, they use beads. And the history of beads can also be traced back since the Indus Valley civilization. Many of you would be knowing about Lothal, an Indus Valley civilization port known as, or considered to be as, the oldest harbor in the whole world. So that also had a bead factory. The raw materials for the bead were easily found in the Gulf of Kutch, and being a major trading center at that time, yes, these beads were manufactured in Lothal, and then these beads were exported to Mesopotamia and the Egyptian civilization at that time. So that is how this whole bead has been an integral part of the state of Gujarat since that days. You can see in all parts of Gujarat, yes, mainly if you speak about the Saurashtra region, or the southwestern region of Gujarat, the Saurashtra region, they have this bead work as a more important one. They will be using beads in every function or everything they are using it. Then there is leather. If I say about leather, yes, Rajasthan or Uttar Pradesh or Madhya Pradesh or Haryana, they are more into leather works, especially Kanpur and Agra. But the leather work of Kutch is different than the leather work of the other parts of India. Now, usually Maldharis, which are the shepherds, and the Meghwals or the Marwadas communities, which usually are included, means indulged in this leather art. So they were kind of, they had their mutual collaboration with them. So the Maldaris used to provide the leathers of cow, the hides of cow or camels, and then from that hides they would be making the leather art, which could be, now with the advent, yes, more designs have come. They are using this mirror with it, maybe for wall hangings, or maybe for a purse, or even the slippers. So different types of things have been included in the leather work. But yes, it is more colorful, it is more different. Usually you find the leather work of Kutch, and these are usually find in all villages of Kutch. But mainly if you want to see, that is of Hudka village of Kutch, where you could see this leather art. Now we have spoke about the different aspects or different handicrafts of Kutch, and what I would mainly say about rural tourism and handicrafts, it's, they both have a win-win situation with it. Now, why they both have a win-win situation is, as I say, for if I speak about handicrafts and textile, that is the most important rural tourism product of Gujarat. Mainly, if you see rural tourism in other parts of country, there would be farm tourism, or there would be meeting of different tribes, or there would be some local customs which has to be visited, like weekly markets, or weekly, or the annual programs, or like festivals. But if you speak about Gujarat, yes, there are farm tourism associated with it. There are different tribes to be visited. There are different festivals to be visited as part of rural tourism product. But handicrafts, day in and day out, that would be the most important rural tourism product for Gujarat. just because there are many factors, and the major factor that includes is the geographical conditions. And why these different handicrafts have thrived, as I said, many communities shifted or migrated from different parts of the country, as well as the modern Pakistan, which was into the whole Indian subcontinent, came to Kutch or different parts of Gujarat, and they brought their own arts, and then they lived with here cordially with the other communities here, and then they developed their own art. They developed it more in a more commercial way or more better way. And geographical condition, as I say, because if you speak about the patola art, it is made of silk. Now, the old silk route passed from Gujarat, because it came to Lothal, and from Lothal, as it was the major harbor at that time, the whole silk was exported to different civilization or different parts of the world. So from Patan it used to be go, so they would find silk in abundance, and they could easily make this silk sarees, the patola silk sarees. And that is one thing about geographical condition, plus the white desert. Why this embroidery of Kutch is more colorful or more mirror based? Because in this white desert, as I said earlier, they wanted to have some colorful things, because from a distance they could see that there is some person going there, and mirrors, the colorful the colorful costumes plus the mirrors would easily help them to make take a note that there would be someone going in that distant place. And that is why this geographical conditions played an important role in the emergence of handicrafts and the rural tourism of Gujarat. The breakthrough point, as I say, is the start of Ranutsav in 2005. That was a dream project of the current Prime Minister of India, and who was the Chief Minister of India, Chief Minister of Gujarat in 2005. He made sure that Ranutsav started, uh, because there were families who were doing this type of handicrafts. They had to sell in cheap prices in various cities in the country, and they were not getting the enough remuneration, because they had, yes, fabulous products. They had very good products, but yes, whenever they were going to the cities, they had to sell in the streets, and that didn't get they didn't get the required earning which they had, means based on the hard work of time they had spent on it. But with the start of Ranutsav, people started coming directly to their villages, directly to the Ranutsav, where they got a market where they could sell their products without any bottlenecks, without any middlemen. Now that resulted in economic earning, plus the people who had shifted or migrated from the villages to live in different parts, they came back to their villages. And plus many basic sanitation and water facilities and other facilities were developed by the government, so that people were encouraged to come back to their villages, and they got that earning worth which they required in the 4 months of Ranutsav. Yes, and plus instant recognition. Now there are people who are visiting the Ranutsav and this various handicrafts artisans, and they get orders directly. They sell this directly in even in the e-commerce places right now. More encouragement to these artisans through the government have resulted in this. So yes, other parts of Gujarat, if I say in the northern part of Gujarat, there, as I said, the polo forest, or the eastern part of Gujarat, which is the tribal part, the Chota Udaipur villages, the Chota Udaipur district and the Dance district in the southern part, they are more into tribal forms. The usual tribes now, they also have their own handicrafts, bamboo products and all. But yes, that rural tourism products directly depends upon their festivals, directly depends upon whenever people visit only during their festivals, or only during weekly hearts or weekly bazaars they put up, and that is what usually there the rural tourism product there lies. But yes, handicrafts anyways, in any other part of Gujarat you find handicrafts are the most important rural tourism product, because if I say means even in the little run of Kutch, that is also in Surendranagar district, not the Kutch district. But yes, all are barren lands, and nobody would just come and visit these villages just because they are barren. They want something peculiar thing or something striking feature, and that was the handicrafts. So yes, uh, Gujarat's rural tourism products, Gujarat rural tourism developed just because of the development of handicraft, and that's why it is a win-win situation for both. If we want to develop this rural tourism, we must be caring about this handicraft also. That's why uh, I rest my speech. Yes, in in the folk dances or the folklores or the different costumes which we are wearing in our festivals also, these handicrafts play a major role, because with the advent of time and with more people coming to know about this handicraft, they're using in daily life. First, it was just like only the people who are knowing about it, they would be making, they would be buying this. Now, as people have started coming in numbers, the local peoples have also started using this handicrafts in a day-to-day life, and that's how the whole concept has been. I hope it was a good session, and just it was an overview of what Gujarat has to offer in the rural tourism part and mainly the handicrafts part. And I would uh, I would be hoping that everyone would be fine in this very difficult phase of pandemic. But yes, it would just get over very soon. We hope that. And I would be inviting you, everyone, to visit the state to see actually what this handicrafts has to offer. Because the experiencing it live, it would be a different phenomena. And knowing about it directly from the artisans would be a different thing rather than knowing from me. So that is why I would be surely inviting you, everyone. Any day you come, you can have my contact number. You can surely call me or email me. I would help you out in knowing about this. So in case you have any more questions or anything, you can directly drop in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask it. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Hardik, for a wonderful session. Dear participants, for any queries, kindly post your questions in the chat box. We will be happy to address it. You can also unmute and ask questions, dear participants.
Yes, I have a question from Alice Matthew. What effort is made by the government to help the artisans adopt improved technology? Is it true that failure to avail financial assistance under government scheme is putting a stop for artisans from adopting modern machinery and advanced technology? Uh, if I say modern machinery and advanced technology have no place in the handicrafts product, because if there are people who are using this modern means, as I said about bandhani art, or as I said about the patola art, but the real essence of this arts have been lost due to modern machinery. If as a layman like us, it is very difficult to differentiate between a handmade product and an original product. But when you keep it side by side, then the stark difference, it's not a it's a minor difference, it is a very stark difference which you could see in both the products. So yes, I strongly condemn in case if government is giving any financial assistance to develop modern machinery, because they don't want modern machinery. They just want financial assistance, or on assistance in a way that the people directly could come to their houses, come to their places where they're making it, and know about more about this handicrafts, and in the way they could earn more money. As I said, that Ranotsav is one of the thing, one of the major thing in the way how the local handicraft artisans have developed. And that's why I think means improved technology or modern machinery are not needed in handicrafts. Anyways, because of improved machinery and advanced technology, two of our arts have dwindled considerably, and that is mainly the bandhani art and the patola art. Uh, I have one question is, sir, can you give an information on how handicrafts will be used as a useful tool to promote tourism? Yes, surely, because in Gujarat, if we have, means if I say about Gujarat, we have developed different means offbeat itineraries, and that includes a major portion of handicrafts, because there are many different uh, institutions, or many different colleges, or even the people who are more into handicraft, the fashion designers or other designers, they are coming to Gujarat, they are seeing this handicraft. Even from different institutions, I have seen there are many students who are coming to these artisans. They are getting the workshop, they are living or staying with them about 5 6 days, they are knowing how they are making this handicraft, and then they are collaborating with the modern designs, and this traditional designs to make different kinds of clothes or any other purpose. So that is how these handicrafts can be developed. Plus aggressive marketing. There is no other way, because the government directly has, as I said, Rogan art developed or came into limelight just because our prime minister gifted that art to the president of America, and that is how people came to know. Even I am belonging to the Kutch district. It is just about 30 kilometers from my village. This Nirona art, the Rogan art is there, but still I didn't know till about 2014-15 that this type of art is being practiced just 30 kilometers away. But then, because our prime minister, who himself is a great aggressive marketer, he made sure that people came to know about this art, and that is how this came into being. Aggressive marketing is the only way, I think. Government, every government should try to promote these kind of local handicrafts, because everyone knows that with the modern technology and with the dumping of goods from other countries in the country right now in India, many toys which were traditional handicraft toys in India have been lost due to the plastic toys, or with the dumping of other countries. So that is why it is not only the duty of the government to promote it, but yes, even in the locals have to means, if even if I don't know about my place, how could I promote the places in other parts? That's why it's very important for the locals to know about their own local handicrafts or local places, and then slowly and steadily, yes, with the meeting or social customs or the meeting of other people, we could promote it. And handicrafts anyways are very important for promoting tourism, because even if you don't have natural things to see, or if you don't have other things to see, handicrafts can be a solid medium. Now, how do you commercialize these products for economic benefit of the artist? Uh, See, that depends upon the artist. As I said, Rogan art artists, they are not into commercializing it, or even the Patola artists, they are not into commercializing it. You directly come to their place, you see the product, a demonstration of the product, you buy it. Now, commercializing has happened in a very easy way, because there are different kinds. I mean, now everywhere in the government is organized. Every government is organizing a small exhibition or fair for these handicrafts in every city. Even in I think many of you are from Bangalore. I have met many artisans here who have been going to Bangalore in various exhibitions and fairs relating to the handicraft. So they are getting good business from these exhibitions, and that is a way commercializing this could happen. But I strongly believe that just because of money or just because of commercializing it, the handicraft should not lose its real essence. And even it is for beneficial for the artisans too. Many of the artisans have started making it more commercializing. They're losing the real essence just for money, and that is not good, I think. But still, who are keeping it the way that we have to keep it in the real way, that is how the handicrafts could be a boon for our industry in the coming stages. uh, Mr. Arvind is asking is, how does handicrafts contribute to the cultural tourism? uh, See, cultural tourism, if I say, handicrafts are an integral part of cultural identity of the local communities, of the local people who are living there. Because just as I said, handicraft means there are many handicrafts which are totally means attached to a different communities. There are other communities who had come or migrated from different parts to Gujarat. They were living here. Now they have their own cultural identity, and that's how the handicraft shows that embroidery of different communities is different. Now, if I am from a particular community, and I'm wearing the this uh, costumes of my own embroidery, that shows that I am into my into my handicrafts, and people come to know that I am from a particular community. And I think that is how handicrafts can be contributing to the cultural tourism as well. And just not because the locals wear it or locals promote it. It is also the responsibility of everyone, even the tourists who are coming. They, if they like that product, if they like that handicraft, they should be able to make an impression to the other fellow travelers also, to tell them that you should visit this. uh, right now, because of this pandemic, it is very means imperative that everyone means it was also by our prime minister also, it is also said that try to visit the places of India as much as you can rather than going out of India. Even I think in the 2019 Independence Day speech he had said that make sure that you visit a number of the places till a particular year in the country of India to know about your own country. Dekho mera desh or dekho apna desh, that was the campaign I think. And that's how means I think everyone has to visit our own country first, then look after the other countries, and that would, I think, that would be the way that we could contribute to our cultural tourism or to our culture. And handicrafts anyways could be the major factor there. So yes, you can ask more questions by unmuting yourself or in the chat box. Mr. Saurabh, I think, is saying that government policy play a major role, but it seems it is not effectively implemented in case of Indian textile industry. So artists dying slowly, artists are switching to alternate career. How to bridge this gap? I strongly means agree with you. Means government policy it surely plays a major role, and not effective implementation. It's not just because government is not trying, maybe because of many bottlenecks. Uh, and mainly there are more commercializing it now, bridging this gap. I think the next generation of these artisans, that is more important. How the former generations or the current generation is grooming the next generation, that is the thing. One thing I would say about this is uh, the patola art. The current generation, which the Salvi family, the current generation, the next generation which are young, just about 25-30 years old, they all have their own careers. One is a doctor, one is an architect, one is a civil engineer. The current, the means that almost the new generation, now they have their own profession. But yes, they had made, the former generation had made sure that their children are into this art. And even after, even they are practicing their own profession, but they are not they are also practicing this patola art. And even the next generation, I had met this artist, about one has a child is about 9-10 years old. So he daily comes to their workshop, he learns about this, because it takes a lot of time to learn about this art. So every day comes there, he learns this art, and by the time he gets adulthood, about 18-19 years, he would be knowing this whole art. And that is, I think, the more important thing is how the former generation or the current generation is grooming their next generation. Even without government facilities, it is, yes, little difficult to grow. But yes, if the artisans themselves are not willing to pass on their art to the coming generation, it is very difficult, even with proper government implementation. Yes, I think means effective implementation is not there, because cotton textile or silk textile, that is also a little difficult, because with modern mechanism, the local communities have, or local handicrafts have dwindled. Even in Rogan art, as I said, there is only one family. There were hundreds of families who were practicing patola art. There were hundreds of families practicing. Just there are two families right now. Even in other arts, they're not into it. But yes, many NGOs have started working it. Many local people have started working it for the development of it. Government has slowly and steadily given more importance to it. But I think, yes, we would need some years to say that how this gap has been bridged. So I hope I have given the answer to you, I think. Mm. One question is what all equipment they use for sewing the clothes. It's mainly the threads, and then depends upon the communities what they are using it. Mainly the threads only. If you talk about embroidery, and if you talk about weaving, then weaving they don't sieve it. It's weaving totally, because from wool or the cotton threads. And in, as I said, the more in Kachi embroidery, mirrors are usually used, or means yeah, on, or the type of clothes they're using it, they may use these threads. Yes, Mr. Saurabh said, but it need to be at large scale. Yes, it is surely means it needs to be at large scale. But I think in next few years, I think with more government promotion, I think it would be better at what stage right we are now. Because I am not speaking about other governments, but yes, in Gujarat, last 15 years, that is very good for the total handicrafts industries. At what minimum age do the students start learning the craft skills? How they learn the nitty gritty details? Now there is no minimum age. If I speak about the Ahir community, very in Kutch or in Gujarat, now they have their own embroidery style. Now with the different age groups, they have different embroidery style. Around 6 to 7 years, when the mainly it is done by women. So around 6 to 7 years, when the girl child means attains the age of 6 or 7, she starts learning it. At that time, uh, the clothes are very and clothes are not very much embroidered. They are plain because at that time they don't have that peculiar knowledge. So with the advent of time, when they are about 13, 14, 15 years, when they attain about teenage, they are more into means they are more practiced now. They are more perfect in it. So that embroidery gets more rich. After marriage, just about 2 3 years more, it gets uh, even more rich. But then after particular time, when they get children, where they have their own children, then it slightly comes down the richness because they have other works also to do. And then when they are about age of 55, 60, when it is difficult for their eyes to see that small embroidery parts, then then again it becomes very plain. So that's how that every age group is different. I means everyone has their own different age groups and their own different handicraft means this handicrafts also. Now for our community, because the girls, why? Because the girls have to be learning this art by 6 or 7 years, is because when they means they make their own costumes at that time, till the till the time they are getting married. When they are getting married, these all clothes they take to their in-laws house, and that is a form of dowry. They don't give dowry in that other form, but that is the dowry which the girl is taking from her parents house, which she has made the costumes which she has made to her in-laws house, and that is she would be wearing in her in-laws house. And that is why that is to be made. But in different arts, I think 10 12 years is the minimum where the next generation is being taught how to make this. But since they are born, they are seeing this art. Their parents or their grandparents are making this art, doing this art, so that that the whole thing is in their blood, and that's how. But then again, that depends upon how interested is the next generation into this art. Is there any Catwell school connected with the craft, where the craft is learnt as a cultural, social, and educational connect? Uh, I don't think there is some school, but as I said, there are many fashion designing institutes which are collaborating with these artisans, and they are sending students to live with to stay with these artisans for a few days and learn about this peculiar small details of these arts. But I cannot say, means I have no knowledge in case there are any other schools. Yes, there are other questions. Someone has asked, how can we unmute and ask question? I think on the left, down left, you have an option of unmuting yourself. Someone has told how fast growing sector is this field. Cannot say how fast growing sector right now, but yes, it is developing, and it shouldn't be in a way. As I said, it shouldn't be in a way that it loses its original essence, and that's why it is. I think uh, even if it grows gradually, it should be in a way that the artisans get that required earning and required remuneration for it.
Uh,
Having clarified all our questions and doubts, dear Mr. Hardik Patel Hitesh, now it's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. As all good things come to end, so is the national webinar. On behalf of Indian Academy Degree College Autonomous, I take this opportunity to propose uh, opportunity to thank those who have either directly or indirectly contributed to this national webinar on Handicrafts of Gujarat overview, organized by Department of Tourism by our college. At the outset, I thank our resource person, Mr. Hardik Patel Hitesh. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and sharing on a topic which was very interesting. Thank you, sir, for taking us on virtual tour. We're thankful to our honorable chairman and the secretary of Indian Academy Education Trust for their motivation and support. I would like to thank our principal, Dr. E. Jerome Xavier, for his enthusiastic involvement in all our departmental activities. A special thanks to our HOD, Ms. Deepa Yes, Ms. Mausmi, Assistant Professor of Tourism, Organizing Committee, Teaching and Non-Teaching, technical staff for their unflinching support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to our dear students and you, the participants who have joined us from different parts of India for your active participation. Yeah. With these warm words, and I would we come to end of this webinar. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Arvind. Thank you.
The feedback form will be posted over here. Please do fill it over here. I mean, once you've been filling the uh, form, then only you can leave it so that you'll be receiving a e-certificate. Thank you.
Dear participants, I will be forwarding the feedback link in the chat box, as well as I will be forwarding it in the WhatsApp group also. Kindly wait. I will be forwarding it in few minutes. Dear participants, you can check the WhatsApp group Handicrafts of Gujarat. I have forwarded the feedback link there.